everyone, I'm Jodi and welcome to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here today. So today we are going to create a fun no makeup look for our more mature skin using products that you probably already have, one of them being the Blush Crush by ColourPop, or any nude color palette that you have will work. So no need to run out and buy new products. There are some fun products here if you don't have that you want to maybe pick up, that's one thing. But these are products that you probably already have, and we are just going to modify a true no makeup look that you can use every day if you want to. The key to a no makeup look is all about the transparency of the color. So this is an easier look to pull off than you probably think. After we do this look, I'll show you the outfit of the day. Nothing fancy, just something fun for summer, and then we'll be ready to start our day. So one of the first things that I like to do before I do any makeup look is gather my desired blush. What blush do I feel like wearing that day? Then I start to pair, which in this case I'm gonna wear DM's Colorfix in Ballerina. And so then I started to say, okay, I need to match all of my stuff together. So there's my eyeshadow, there's my blush, and then I started to look through my different lipsticks to see what I had. So I always start by preparing what colors I want to wear that day and what coordinates with the outfit, and then what is the look I'm going for. Put it in front of me, put everything else away so that I'm not tempted to go off the charts, which is typically what happens with my makeup looks. So anyway, today we are doing a no makeup look for our more mature skin. I think you'll be really pleased with the way this works, how easy it is to apply, and the way it will look fantastic so that you look your most uniquely beautiful you. We're not trying to all look as though we are, 25 and we just stepped out of the gym or the swimming pool and the hair is waving and the eyebrows already look beautiful and the lashes. No. But we can be somewhere, we can dream, but still have a look that is more us. So if this is a video that you are interested in, then grab your makeup and put me in your phone on your corner, wherever, and we'll do it together. If not now, if now's not a good time, then pause it and we'll do our makeup when it is best for you. That's the beauty of YouTube, right? You can put me on pause. But I wish my husband probably wishes there was a pause button in real life sometimes, but only you guys get the value of the pause button. But don't pause because I think you're gonna like this video. Share it with your girlfriends if you do, and we will get started. All right, you guys, so let's get started. The key to a good no makeup look is really starts with and ends with, I think, the sunscreen and the skincare to get the skin really moist and plump. So I always start every day with this La-Roche Posay sunscreen. It's a SPF 50. I use 2 pumps, about a dime size amount. And then I just put that over everything, including under my eyes, because it does help moisturize that dry area. And then I will put it down the sides of my nose and then all the way down on my neck and leave a little bit on my chest. Now I do try to let that sit and absorb into the skin, or let the skin absorb that. So that takes, I usually try to wait at least 5 minutes. And while that's happening, I will go and add some Lumify to my eyes just to make them more bright and white. That's when I'll put on some Aquaphor just to get my lips nice and moist so that when I go to apply lipstick, it's not like applying lipstick to a desert that has had no water, which sometimes my lips feel like as we age. The next thing that I'd like to do is add the La-Roche Posay face moisturizer, because the key to a good no makeup look is all about the skincare, and the skin needs to be very hydrated, very plump, very moist, and that usually takes more effort as we age. So I spend about the same amount of time on the skincare front end part of a no makeup look as I do the actual makeup itself. So while that wasn't completely 5 minutes, through the magic of YouTube, we're just gonna speed it up a little bit. But if you were to just put on some Aquaphor and do, brush your teeth or whatever it is, other things that you can do, then the time goes by pretty fast. So you can see already that my skin is starting to feel more, well, you can't tell if it's feeling more plump, but it is feeling more plump, but it's definitely looking more hydrated. And that is just so critical. It's sort of like if you're gonna try to put, I think I've said this before, if you're gonna paint a wall that had been textured, it's gonna look one way. which is what our skin can look like if we put on foundation before we've hydrated it. But if you put paint on a flat, smooth, like sheetrock, where it's completely smooth, it just wears and looks better. It's the same philosophy, so it's really critically important that we hydrate first. And the sunscreen is, you know, that's a no-brainer. And to just add one final touch to the hydration of my skin, I'm gonna add just a little bit of the Smart Clinical Repair by Clinique. And I'm gonna apply that mostly under my eyes because that's the area that seems to get the most dry. And I'm just gonna pat that in really good and just let that sort of set up. Now you don't wanna do this hydrating step underneath your eyes and then go right to concealer, because this really does, because it's more of a greasy, or even if you use a non-greasy formula, it still needs time to be absorbed by the skin, or else you're just gonna put concealer on top of it and it's just gonna slide around and move on you. So really let the skin drink all that up before you go to your concealer, if that's your next step. And then I'll just use whatever's left everywhere else because it's expensive and I don't like to waste it. Okay, next we're gonna take our Halo Primer if you have it, or any other primer that you use, and don't put it on directly. You're just gonna mix that with your foundation or your tinted moisturizer. I'm gonna use the CC Cream by IT Cosmetics. I'm gonna use it in neutral medium. And I'm just gonna take a few pumps of that, and I'm going to then mix it with a few drops of the Lumi Glow Lotion by L'Oreal True Match. And if you have, again, the Smashbox Halo Primer, this is a good point to mix that. So you can see about how much I have on there. And again, I'll link all these products in the description box below so that you can get them if you're looking to get the same look, or if you're just looking to pick up a couple things. So I'm gonna mix those two together with a damp beauty sponge because I want to be able to have a sheer look, not a full coverage look. And we're just gonna go everywhere on our skin. And I just like to I try not to pounce that, because as I've said before, it's again taking sort of that wet paint analogy. If you took a roller brush on a wet wall and just pounced it, what you're doing is you're pulling that product off the wall each time you're pouncing and leaving those little tiny, you know, spikes, if you will. If you press, then what you're doing is you're pressing that product into all of those fine lines, wrinkles, pores, but you're leaving a smooth overall texture to your skin, and that's really what we're going for. We have enough texture as we age. We don't need to help create it with the addition of some of our products. And I really try to just keep that very thin everywhere so that it doesn't look as though I have a ton of makeup on, because this is just a no makeup look, which just means we want to look like we're naturally like this. Our skin is naturally this gorgeous. And there are people that have beautiful skin that don't even need this step. I am not one of them. I tend to get real purpley around my eyes, and doesn't matter how much sleep I get, that still happens. So I was really curious as to which type of makeup look I should do next for you guys. If you wanted a no makeup look, or did you want an everyday makeup look, or were you looking for more of a evening, you know, summertime, springtime wedding makeup look? So leave me a comment in the comment below as to which makeup look you would like to see next, because I love doing these tutorials more than anything of all the videos, just spending time with you guys and putting on my makeup with you and just learning different techniques to share with you. So let me know which type of look you would be most interested in next. All right, so I just really like to blend all that out and push it in everywhere and just make sure that I have a nice smooth, and you can see just those two products together. And again, you can use your own tinted moisturizer or whatever it is. You don't need to go rush out and get this one. You can use whatever foundation you have and just apply it with a damp beauty sponge to sheer it out a little bit. But just add a drop or two of something that's glowy but not sparkly. And I think that's the key. That Smashbox by Halo is a great one. The Chanel one that I talked about earlier is a good one. I think I have that in Ivory. And then this True Match by L'Oreal, I've really enjoyed that as well. And I'm just trying to see, it says it's 903. Oh, it is a color. It's Medium Glow 903. That's the one I used. So again, we'll link all this down below just so you have it. All right, so now that all of the imperfections and the purple is covered up, I'm going to go in and just touch up a little bit of underneath the eye area. And for me, I need to cover up some of this purpley area, but I also need to pull forward these little divots that my cheekbones are creating as I age and lose volume underneath my eye. And then this hollow part around the temples is getting more narrow, which is a dead giveaway for age. So I like to highlight that area just so that it shows more light there and moves that larger. Okay, I think that's about it. I'll put a little bit on around my nose because that tends to get red and stay red. And I am using the Tarte Creaseless Concealer, and this one is in 20N. It's the same one that I always use. Now, as we get more close to summer, I'll go darker shades. I'll go 1 or 2 darker on my foundation or tinted moisturizer, and then I'll go 1 or 2 shades darker on my concealer as well. So it just sort of depends on how I'm, where I'm tanning, a selfless tanner, and where I'm not. And I'm gonna just pick up that same damp beauty sponge just so that it can sort of blend the colors from the foundation or tinted moisturizer that I had and blend that right into that concealer so that I don't have those highlighted areas, that I don't want. I don't want it to look as though it's 2 different colors on my skin. I just want it to look as though it's all one nicely blended color, but with some contrast to it. So you can see how fast that glow lotion or whatever primer that has a highlight in it can blend with your foundation, your tinted moisturizer. And I just need to go down my neck a little bit because it just looks a little bit different. But you can see how it just kind of brings out that natural, healthy glow from within, which is all about summer, but it also speaks to that no makeup look. Next, I want to keep that sheer look going. So we've sheared down the foundation or the base, if you will, and now I want to shear down my blush. So for that, I'm going to use the DM Colorfix, and this is in color Ballerina for my blush. And again, this is just because, I'm going to put it on my back of my hand. Again, we're just going for that sheared look, that more transparent. Every color that we put on our face, we don't want it to leave the color of the product. We want it to be, we want to shear it out a little bit. So I'm going to go back in with that damp beauty sponge, but this time I'm going to use the pointed area. And you guys, I link these down below. I don't work for Real Techniques. I'm not sponsored by Real Techniques, but I love the Real Technique beauty sponges because of the price point. First and foremost, they're a great value. They last just as long, in my opinion, as any of the other beauty sponges, but they have this nice flat side so that you can really get, like if you want to have that sharper line coming through here, or it's got this nice point, which the other ones do as well. But I just love this flat angled side. I just find that I use that a lot. See, I almost used it again for my blush. So I'm just gonna take, because I really want to mirror this contour on my cheek. So I'm gonna take that area, and I don't want any lumps or anything or any extra product. So I'm just gonna put it nicely on the beauty sponge. And then I'm gonna go right around I'm gonna put this point at the center of my eye and the center of my eyebrow, and just at an upward angle. And just sort of kiss, if you will, the side of my face. And I'm gonna leave it like that for just a second so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'll go back and blend it in. But it's just such a soft blend and a really pretty opaque sheer coverage with just a little bit of gleam to it without being glittery. And I think that's what we need to stay away from as we age, or I prefer to, is that glitter look, because that is just a dead giveaway for, you can't really say you have a no makeup look if you have glitter on your face. At least I have never successfully been able to do that. So you can see that just gives a nice little kiss of color to the cheeks without too much. Now you'll find that as I do my no makeup look, I do tend to shear stuff out on my hand more before I put it on, because I want to thin it out and shear it, if that makes sense. I know I keep saying that, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. So next we're going to go up to the eyebrows, and again, I just want to have I don't want a solid line to the eyebrows. I don't want any harsh lines to the eyebrows. I just want a nice, soft, I have eyebrows and they're healthy kind of look to it. And they don't do that on their own, so we are going to help them have that, hey, I'm healthy look. And I do prefer a little bit more of that fox eye, where it's a little bit more straight through here and a little bit more straight on the top, and then a little height here, just to give our face some dimension. Now, if your face is already longer than you'd like, and you just feel like, gosh, I just don't want my eyebrows to help give this length to my face, then you certainly want to add that arch so that you can add some shape to your face. And there's I have a whole video of this I'll link it right up here if you're interested. And then on my website, I also have the templates that show you what type of eyebrow shape is best for your shaped face, which it does make a big difference. It's all about symmetry. So I'm just gonna use my eyeshadow pen. This is by Pure, and I'm gonna go a shade lighter than I normally do. I normally try to match my eyebrows with the root color of my hair, and for summer I like to go just a little bit lighter, and I like to do a little bit less coverage of the pencil. So I just want to make it appear as though I have thicker brows, which I have been getting thicker brows, and I have to again say thank you to Revita Lash for sending me the Revita Brow. I have seen some, I don't want to say dramatic, but I have seen my brows are definitely getting longer, and I feel like the brows that I have are getting thicker, if that makes sense. I can't say that I'm growing new brows, but it does, when I go to comb them, it does seem like more often now I'm needing to trim them. And when I trim them, it's thick. It's a thick brow. Now, part of that is age. I remember my grandma had thicker brows like that. They're sparse but thick. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't mind the thickness unless it's, you know, it's like this and taken off a life of its own. Then that one thickness looks not the way I want it to look. And remember, our eyebrows are supposed to be sisters, not twins. And, you know, somewhere close in the family is good. You just don't want them to look like, you know, they're not related at all, which there are days that mine do. And I just keep playing with them until they look like they're in the same bloodline. Okay, so real simple, real light, soft curve to the brow, nothing harsh. And then you can go in and set it, and I will just use the Benefit. Any brow set will work. But again, I don't want to have a stiff look to the brows because this is a no makeup look. So like everything else, I want it to be more opaque and not real stiff. So just a nice, healthy, fluffy brow as if I had my 7-year-old eyebrows again. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the eyes. Now the thing about the eyes for a no makeup look is it's important that you keep your brow bone natural, neutral, and not any product on it. So we're gonna do it just that way. We're gonna leave it just like that. And I'm gonna today I'm gonna use the ColourPop Blush Crush. And the reason I'm gonna go with this one is because, as you guys know I always do, I like to set out my blush, and then I like to set out a few of the lipsticks that I'm thinking about wearing that day and just put them together and say, okay, do those coordinate? Is that too much pink? Do I need to switch something here out maybe and go a little bit more, a little darker color for the lips? But I'm gonna start with this palette and then build it from there. And since I knew I wanted to wear this blush, I had those two kind of in mind, and then I started playing with my lipsticks and just putting them together and going, you know what, that's probably too much pinky. This is probably too dark of one for the more no makeup look I'm going for, because we're trying to keep the lips sheer as well, but with some color. So I'm gonna go with 2 of these Buxoms and a lip liner. So I should have showed you that in the beginning because that's what I usually do to start out with. So with this look, I'm gonna start with a fluffy brush, and this is just from the Smashbox. Most of the brushes that I use are Sigma, and I have my Sigma set is linked down below, but I have it split. Some are in my bathroom or my vanity where I actually get ready for a non-filming day, and then I pulled some in here. So if I have not grabbed the right Sigma out of my other brush set, I will grab these Smashbox. These are just harder to get anymore. That's why I don't talk about them a lot. They're great brushes, but they're just hard to get. So I just don't want to make it frustrating for you guys to try to find a brush. But Sigma has great brushes. There's a face set and there's an eye set, and it has everything in it that you need. And that's all linked down below in every video. So because we're going a no makeup look, I'm just gonna grab the one here, which is a light color. It's more of a kind of a peachy, light peachy vanilla color. And I'm gonna go over the whole lid. Now, if you have cream eyeshadows, you can certainly grab those. It's more about the opaqueness of the color that you're wanting to use. You just don't necessarily need an eyeshadow that has really good color payout, because we're not going for a color. We're just going for a highlight of that area. So with this, I'm just gonna go right above my eyelid, and then right above the crease, around from corner to corner. So from there, and if you have hooded eyes, then you'll do the same thing, but just keep about, you know, a good breadth I'm having a hard time talking today, a good brush width distance away from your eyebrow so that you do have some of your own skin showing. So that's one of the reasons hydrating this area is critically important. I'm just gonna go back into that. I guess this is more of like a creamsicle, which you wouldn't normally think would make a pretty eye color, but it's brightening to the eye. It doesn't leave a ton of color. It just helps the eye appear more bright, which if I had a no makeup look, I'd want a bright eye, but not a ton of color. So you can see I'm just going again corner to corner, the entire eyelid, and then just about one brush length above my crease. So for those of you that have a crease, that's a good rule of thumb, is just that brush width, just like that. That's about as high as you want to go. And again, hooded eyes, same thing. You just want to make sure that you've got enough space so that your eyeshadow doesn't bleed into your eyebrow. So pretty simple so far. Hope you guys are following along and enjoying this. And if you are getting ready for work this morning, you're going to go to work and people are going to go, wow, you look great. Next, we're going to go with a smaller pencil brush. And I'm going to go back to this. So I'm going to go in with the Made You blush, which is just a light, soft pink. Now, if you have darker skin, you're just going to want to take these two colors and go just a shade or two darker, just so that you get sort of the same effect. And we're just wanting like a little kiss of color. So we're going to go to the outer corner of our eye and then across the lower lash line. Just like that. So this outer V, and by outer V, I mean about really, really small outer V. We don't want a ton of color deposited in that outer corner. We just want about that much. And then across the lower lash line. And then stop where your lashes naturally stop so that we're not depositing color in that corner of our eye. And if you're not following along, I hope you guys do this look, and just when you are ready to do it, just hit play, grab your makeup, hit play, and we'll go through it together. The nice thing about YouTube is, isn't it nice you can hit stop and rewind and be like, how did she do that? I know I do that a lot on different tutorials when I'm trying to learn how to do something. I was trying to learn how to cut down little trees the other day, and through the magic of YouTube, I know that probably sounds really dangerous, learning how to use a chainsaw on YouTube. That wasn't the only way I was learning it, but there was a few channels that I was like, gosh, these guys really explain it well, and it worked. So that was good. So once we add a little bit of that color, then just go back in with maybe this brush, the one that you put on that lighter peach color, and we're just gonna kind of blend it. We're not trying to move it around a lot. We're just trying to blend so that you can't see where the color stops or starts. You just know that there's a little bit of dimension and extra color in the outer corners and that lower the lash line. Now what we're gonna do is, this is a step where I like to curl my lashes. I know not everyone likes to curl their lashes, so if you don't, no worries. If you do, I like to just crimp at the very, very base of my lash and then just do little crimps along the lash so that I kind of get more of that versus a hard check mark. Now this is the fun part. The eyelashes and the application of the mascara really can help cement this look to a no makeup look, or even a fun summer light makeup look. So the first thing I'm gonna do is apply some of this Clinique Lash Building Primer. And I've talked about this in my favorites video for April. I really enjoyed this, and I think it's made a difference in the way my lashes are looking without mascara, which, let's face it, we do wanna have nice lashes without having to wake up and put on mascara every day, which is why some women wear false lashes, or the adhesive ones. I can't, because I wash my face with coconut oil, and that coconut oil is so quick to dissolve the adhesive for those lashes. You'll notice I'm just putting on this lash primer on the outer half of my upper lashes, because that is the only place we are going to apply the mascara. All right, next we're gonna grab a ultra fine eyeliner brush. Any brush that you have like that that's small will be perfect. And we're gonna go back to our eyeshadow palette. Now, if you don't have this palette, what you're gonna wanna do is look for a color that is sort of the same tone that we put up here, but we don't wanna put this color under our eyes. And the reason for that is the more pinky, reddish mauve colors that you put close to your eye, real close to your eye, tends to give the eye more of a tired bloodshot look just because of the reflection of the color. So I don't mind using these colors if they're small and they're next to other colors, but right along my lash line, it just tends to make your eyes look a little bit more bloodshot. So even if you have darker skin tones, you'll want to stay away from this step from mauves or darker burgundies and things like that. Now, if you find that you have more cool skin tone and you don't get that look, then great, go for it. But for more neutral or warm skin tones, some of these reds, pinks, mauves can really sort of bloodshot the eyes. So I'm gonna go with more of that darker color because we're going for a no makeup look. And this one is the Cheek to Cheek. So it's just a little bit darker, but it's more of a neutral. It doesn't have as much of a pink or a red to it. And we're just gonna go ever so slightly as if we just had a little bit of color underneath our eyes. Now, if you have dark skin tone, then you may want to go with like a lighter tan so that again, you're just highlighting the brightness of your eye, but we're not wanting to deposit a color look. We just want to highlight that a little bit. And then I'm just gonna go almost to where my lashes stop. Now, you've heard me say this before, that, and this is a step that I can't reiterate enough, that when you take your brush like this, you really wanna take the very point of that brush on your product, just like that, and not get the product on the side, because if we go to put that on and we lean it down at all, then if we got product on the side of the brush, the product is gonna be on the side of our face, which is just not what we need, because for some reason, product finds its own way south throughout the course of the day, thanks to gravity. So it's really important that you just put it right here on the tip, and then just put that tip right at your lashes. Now, we're not trying to leave color under the lashes, we're trying to make that lash line appear thicker. So we're trying to fill in all of the gaps between the lashes without getting it on the waterline. So to find the right color for you, it's really up to you, whatever color you want. Obviously more warmer pinksies and things like that. Pinksies. I'm batting 1,000 today. Look at what your face looks like without makeup on in a mirror real close and say, okay, under my eyes, what color is it? Is it a light brown? Is it more of a vanilla color? Is it more of a warm peachy color? And take that and just emphasize it. That is all we're trying to do with a no makeup look. So there you go, just a real light color. And then what we'll do is go back to our mascara, and I'm gonna use the Fullest Volumizing Mascara by Ilia. And because this is a big brush, I don't want mascara on my whole lash. I really just want mascara on the outer third of my lashes. So we are going to just get off all the extra product here. And I want to go as close to the base of my lash as I can, wiggle it, because I want to coat the root of the lash, the part of the lash that is closest to my lid, but I don't want to pull it out all the way except for this last third. That's going to help with this look. So instead of, in lieu of eyeliner, we'll take this, go as close to your root as you can, wiggle it just to give some color to the root, to make the appearance that your roots are very thick. See, now we haven't even pulled it out, and you can see the difference between those two eyes. And then what we want to do is just on this outer third, just put a little bit of mascara, and then pull it kind of up and out. Now this helps if you did curl your lashes. If you don't curl your lashes, this look may not have the same result, which is why I know some people don't like to curl their lashes. You'll still get a really pretty look. It may just not flare out quite as much. See, you can really tell the difference in the two eyes with just one little swap of mascara. And you don't need to have this mascara, you guys, to do this. Any mascara will work. I find that a thicker brushed mascara is easier to work with because it's faster. But if you have a smaller brush, like here's the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Waterproof, which I'll put on after. I mean, it's a much smaller brush. And then the La-Roche Posay, they have a waterproof one, which I love. And it also is a smaller brush. So you don't have to have a big fluffy brush like this one to get the look. Now, a quick tip, if you have, you know, one of these, if you buy one that's more expensive and you love the brush and you, due to, you know, just what's going on in the world right now, if you need to get a less pricey mascara, then you can easily just keep the brush and the head from the mascara that you like and use it in your less expensive mascara, because part of the reason that we love our mascara is because of the brush. So don't fear if you've got to get a less expensive mascara and it works for you, but you like the brush over the other one, just keep the brush. All right, so we're gonna do the same with this other side. I'm just gonna wiggle. And again, because we're going for a no makeup look, I typically will do 2 coats of mascara and then a 3rd coat will be waterproof. I'm not trying to have a thick eyelash look today because that doesn't say no makeup. I'm just trying to have the look of lashes as if I were just born and had beautiful long lashes. And then once we do the base, we'll just pull this out and just give a little bit of a sort of that flirty look. I hesitate to say that because at 52, happily married, I'm not trying to have a flirty look for anybody but my husband. You know what I mean? It just sort of gives that little bit of a fluttery eye lash look. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think so. So something like that. All right, I hope you guys are following along. This is a really fun look. Now I'll let those dry just a little bit and then I'll go back in with a waterproof just so I can ensure that my mascara stays on my lashes and not down here where it tends to really like to go. Now, if you find that you're more, like as I look in the mirror, I feel like I'm still a little purple under here. That's not my favorite look, so I'll go back in with a little bit more concealer since we didn't set that with powder and just get that a little thicker where I feel like I'm still a little purpley, and let that get tacky, and I'll go back in with my damp sponge on the side that I did not add blush, and then we'll go from there. Now while that concealer is setting up, I'm gonna go back in with a white-ish, more of a cream vanilla color eyeliner, and I'm just gonna tightline just to give some more appearance that I have bright, wide eyes. So you can see the difference between this eye and this eye where I've added that. And this one is by, I think this is MAC. Yeah. And Smashbox Always Sharp has a color that has a similar color that I will link below for you. If you find that under your eyes does carry a little bit of a reddish look to it or a peachy color and it just makes your eyes look more tired, you'd be surprised how just tight lining that with just a little bit of that lighter color really can make your eyes appear more wide and open and awake and alert and all those things that make us look a little more youthful. And then I will just go in, and because I want this to be a little thicker, I'm gonna use my finger instead of this damp beauty sponge. There, that's way better. Okay. Sometimes, you know, I just sheared out my concealer too much with this damp beauty sponge, which is the purpose of a damp beauty sponge, but my concealer probably needs to be a little thicker because I do carry a little bit more purple in that area. So if you do carry more purple or more, if you're trying to cover up color there versus just brighten, then you might want to use your fingers instead of a damp beauty sponge, because again, the purpose of the damp beauty sponge is to shear out those colors. All right, now we'll go back in with our mascara, and I'm gonna just coat this is a 2nd coat, and this one is the waterproof coat to sort of seal that mascara in place. And we're gonna go across the bottom like we did on the other one, and then pull that out. Gosh, I really love this look. I hope you guys are doing it with me and you're loving it as much as I am. All right, and we're gonna finish off with the lips, and I'm gonna put on this General Nude Borderline Lip Pencil by Bare Minerals. This is just a peachy, light peachy, kind of a rusty burgundy, I guess, really. If you picked up Natasha Denona's I Need a Rose, that would, in Cala, that would be that top one. That would be pretty. Here's Natasha Denona's I Need a Nude. That's very similar. So whatever lip liner you have that matches the tone of your blush. And again, we're looking for more of a gloss look, not a solid look to the lips. And I'm real lightly just gonna go outline them and then sort of blend that liner into the center of my lips everywhere. I'm not gonna go over my whole lip like I typically do because I'm not looking for a solid look. I'm just looking to have some color to my lips. Again, the key to a no makeup look is less about the placement of the color. It's more about very, very hydrated, moisturized skin, opaque, see-through, transparent colors, and less product. So you'll notice I didn't do the Tatcha primer that I normally do around my nose or in some of these smoker line areas or right around my face. I really try to minimize the number of products, the layering, and then just have a nice healthy glow to the skin, and then again, transparent type colors. So with that, I think I'm going to go with this Buxom. I know you guys are probably going, she's gonna use White Russian, but I'm not. I'm going to use Blushing Margarita, which is a, well, here's, I probably have White Russian here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So there's the White Russian, it's handy just in case you never know. And then there is the Blushing Margarita. I think I just picked this Blushing Margarita on One Up recently. And it's a really pretty color. It's a gloss. It adds a little bit of extra moisture to the lips, but also a little bit of plumping, which is, in my opinion, always a welcome effect. I think the only person that would disagree with me is my husband, because sometimes I forget to tell him that I've just put that on, and then he'll come in and give me a kiss, and about 2 seconds later he'll go, "You have that stuff on again." Yes, honey, that stuff is called lip gloss, and it makes my lips blossom. Luckily, he doesn't complain. He just goes in the other room. Okay, so there you guys go. Now you could set this with a light powder if you have more oily skin or if you tend to get oily or shiny through the day. I instead would reach for just a little face halo brush. I love these things. I wouldn't necessarily powder here. I would just go and take off any excess oil that you've gathered as your foundation or your tinted moisturizer has settled into your skin, and pick up any excess oil. And this step does help your makeup last longer throughout the day if you tend to get oily, instead of putting a powder on. If you have dry skin, absolutely do not set this with a powder. I would just, again, go in and just pick up any excess oil so that you don't look shiny or oily throughout the day, but that you also are not adding a powder. And then I like to pay a little special attention to just dabbing any excess oil off from around my nose, because that's where I tend to gather it the most. And then voila, there you go. So that's a pretty simple, fun look. That probably took maybe a half hour with the explanation. Without the explanation, you guys would have done that a lot faster. Now you can always add a little bit more highlight if you want, but again, the purpose for a no makeup look is just a little bit of kiss of color without looking like you've tried too hard to have a no makeup look. All right, so in terms of the outfit today, I just have some simple hoops on with a little bit of white in them. And again, I'll link these in the description box below. Just a little heart necklace, because you guys know there's a heart in there's a heart in every video. It's also on my nails this time because I had to do a little something special for summer, so I just added a little heart to my nails, but the necklace is the heart today. And then the shirt is by Madewell. I got it at Nordstrom. I just paired it with a pair of high-waisted white jeans, a little belt to sort of pull out that brown, pattern that's in it. And it's super cute because it has these buttons across in the back, which I just thought was really fun. In fact, at first I had to question if I had it on backwards or not, but no, the buttons go in the back. And again, just pair it with some white jeans, and then I have some flip-flops that are this color, and they're just crop white jeans. So pretty fun, simple for summer, and that wraps it up for me. So please leave me a comment in the description box of what type of makeup look you guys would like to see next. If it's more of an everyday look, is it sort of a signature look? Is it an evening, glam, but summer glam look? Whatever it is, I am happy to do it. So let me know what you're interested in. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.